walkthrough of the Intermediate Language Lessons by Serl. This would be a language lessons or language arts or English book for right about the 4th, 5th, 6th, and even 7th grade. This is a two-year curriculum, so you will have it for 2 years. It is a non-consumable, so that means that you are able to use it for more than one child at any time. You can pause the video so that you can get a real good look at the table of contents and the pages in the book to determine whether or not this is a good fit for you. This is more of a gentle approach towards teaching English, teaching grammar, punctuation, writing, just all forms of language arts in this 2-year curriculum. I wanted to share with you a few things I've learned over using this curriculum and others for the past 12 years. I just graduated my first homeschooler, and the number one things that I've learned, if I could go back and tell my younger self when we first started homeschooling, would be to relax. Just relax, relax, relax with everything, with every subject. I know that's easier said than done, but that parent-child relationship is very important. It's just important to go at the child's pace and not your pace or what other the public schools pace that has set for you, or what other parents are doing. You just want to focus on your child. The other thing I would say to myself is you only need to teach reading, writing, and arithmetic, especially for grades K through 8. If you teach them a love for reading, you won't be able to keep up with everything it is that they're going to consume. They'll consume nature books, they'll consume history books, they'll consume science books, just whatever is of interest to them, they will consume it. They will want to learn it. Cultivate the love for learning for reading, love for learning for writing, and a love of learning for math. And you do this through gentle homeschooling. And the reason you want to do that is because you also want to teach the child to learn to self-pace, learn to self-regulate, learn to self-start, self-motivate. When you teach all of these things, you cultivate a love for learning, and you teach them to love to learn to read and write. They'll love to do schoolwork at all times of the day. They'll wake up and they'll be interested in something and they'll want to learn it, and it'll be a Saturday morning. And you just need to do that with them. And because they've not had the love of learning squashed, they will want to learn. It doesn't matter, Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, they'll want to learn in the evenings. If something comes into their minds and it's before bedtime and they want to learn it, that's the best time to do it. they want to learn it on a Sunday morning, that's the best time to do it, because that's when they will retain what it is that they want to learn, not what we want to teach them. Because retention is the most important thing, not rote memorization. You can teach them things, and you could teach them to memorize it, but in time they will forget it. They won't care about it. You want them to care. You want them to remember it. And this cannot happen if you use the same method as the public school systems, with the typical workbooks and the typical drill and kill, over and over and over and over. Same thing. Drill and kill, drill and kill. English, drill and kill math. I do like the Charlotte Mason way of homeschooling, but more or less, it's what I've come to find out is it's not necessarily Charlotte Mason that I like. It's the ability to gently homeschool your child. So I kind of like to call it gentle homeschooling. If you have a child that's crying because they don't want to do 30 math problems of addition or subtraction or multiplication, whatever it is, don't make them do that. Teach them the concept of that addition problem. Let them do 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 problems. If they didn't get it or they don't understand it, instead of having them cry their way through it, wait until tomorrow and introduce the same concept again. Let them do another 5 problems. Just be gentle in your homeschooling approach. The other thing I would tell myself is allow the time for the child to play. I mean, it is so important. You can't just say, oh, you have 30 minutes of playtime or an hour of playtime. If you see the child playing, I mean really, really playing, and using their imagination and creating something to play with during their imagination, and it happens to be 9 a.m., and that's the time that you start your schoolwork. But that child is so involved in playing in whatever this world they created. Let them play. Let them finish it out. You go do something while listening to them in the background. Listen to what it is that they're playing, because 9 times out of 10 they're actually learning something from that play. So, like I said, this book is affordable. It is a 2-year curriculum. I generally would start the first book, this the primary language lessons by Emma Serl. I would start that in the 3rd and 4th grade maybe. And then I would do this book for the 5th and 6th grade. And if you have a child who wants to start later than that, then I would do the other book, the primary language lessons, for starting 4th and 5th grade, and then carry this intermediate language lessons through 6th and 7th grade. I have a daughter that's starting 7th grade this year, and we will actually be finishing up this book this year. Part 3, lesson 196, a story about George Washington. So you see, like with the Charlotte Mason approach, you're going to get things thrown in. You're going to get history thrown in with your language lessons, with your English. You're also going to get science thrown in with your English, nature study thrown in. It's just a very well-rounded way of teaching. You're going to get Bible thrown in. This is a picture study, The Gleaners, which, as we know, is a very biblical way of feeding the poor, allowing the poor to come in and glean the fields. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here, a couple pages. So I don't want to make the video too long. Interjections, Columbus. So if I just skip ahead, I do believe there are, yes, 301 lessons in this book. This is lesson 299, lesson 300. And then lesson 301. These two books, the primary language lessons for children and the intermediate language lessons, both by Emma Serl, these two English books will get you through. These two English books will get you through the entire K through 8 language arts with just the purchase of these two books. You will not need to purchase any additional material. Hope this was helpful. Have a good day.